structure was wrong and purposefully wrong. For that reason, as we have a saying in Farsi language, when the first cornerstone is wrong and corrupt, the longer, the higher the wall is built, the more harsh the collapse will be. And that happened after 20 years, but I personally expected it to happen much sooner even. First of all, the main reason is that is the corruption of the government and all the political structure under new regime after 9/11. Uh, and the symbol and the representation of that corruption is that many of those numbers are fake. There were not 300 and something thousand soldiers and police. Uh, there are confirmed reports and investigations that there were corruption, and the government and officials produced fake numbers to steal money from the US and international community. And the second reason is that even those soldiers, those not fake and real soldiers in army, were not supported. Where their food, even their arm fires were stolen, and also they were used for political intentions of corrupted figures in the government for corrupted purposes, their own personal interests, not for the people of Afghanistan. The third reason is that in past months' advancements, it was planned very viciously to surrender the army to Taliban, and even order them to withdraw from the districts, from the provinces for Taliban. Of course, it's not secret. There was an agreement, and it was started to negotiate for that agreement even from the Obama administration. But it lasted till Doha, Qatar, and it was finalized in Doha, Qatar by the US represented by Zalmay Khalilzad and Taliban figures in Doha. The base for that agreement is that Taliban and its foreign supporters, mainly Pakistan, commit to the US not to let any other organization, terrorist organizations, including Al-Qaeda, to threaten or invade to US interests or citizens or army people in and from Afghanistan. That was the main point that the US asked, and it was granted to them. And in exchange, Taliban and Pakistan were asked to change the regime in Afghanistan and in Kabul. Let's start from similarities. In similarities, as you mentioned, they are all they have common Sunni fundamentalist and radical ideologies. But the difference is that Al-Qaeda and other organizations have visions for far beyond Afghanistan and even Middle East. They have ideas and visions to intervene and enter the Central Asia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and also even Iran. And even it may backfire to Pakistan. However, the Taliban so far has claimed that we only care about Afghanistan, and that is the region that we are looking for. However, that is wrong, and that is an obvious lie to the international world and mainly to the US citizen. And Taliban also is very influenced by Al-Qaeda and other international terrorist groups and organizations. And that claim is not true. And I think if US government and citizens uh, do not get aware, it will backfire to the US sooner or later. Uh, for a short period, may not be a threat because they first need to stabilize themselves in Afghanistan, because they have not conquered all the country, and they will not win this war in Afghanistan forever. Uh, During that time, it may not uh, dare to be any of harm, any significant, not any, but any significant harm to Russia or Iran. But in long range, yes, they will try to destabilize Iran and Russia territory. The future of Islamic Emirate is like Afghanistan's past, and that is very sad. The future under Taliban and Islamic Emirate regime will be like during 1990s that they ruled the country. It will be pretty much the same with only some negligible differences. And that difference is that they will sugarcoat and they will decorate their foreign policy. Will be more disabilities, will be more, unfortunately, more suffering for people in the region. Currently, you see the suffering of people in Iran. You see the increased and accelerated sufferings of people in Afghanistan, and it will become worse and worse unless people of these two countries and people resistance in these two countries get aware, get united, and clear their mind about what they want and what they need to do to reach their wants and their future. And if this doesn't happen, then unfortunately, better to tell the truth that I do not see a bright future.